Hi there, welcome to Nicole's Creative Adventure. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, quilting, sewing. Is that it? That's four. That sounds good to me. And other things that might be creative in my world. Um, if this is your first time joining me, my name is Nicole, and thanks for checking out my podcast. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back. I'm glad to see you. Hope you guys have been doing well. Yeah, sorry for not podcasting last weekend. I was hoping to, but I had some internet issues. Internet was down for a while, and then my mouse was acting weird. The left click button wasn't working, and I was about to go buy another one, and then I got it to work, but it's still acting weird, so I think I just need to get a new one. It's a keyboard and mouse like combination thing, so that means I have to get a new set. But anyways, enough about that. Let's move along. You can find me on Ravelry as Eat Mopoi. You can find me on Instagram at Baker Vieira, and you can also find me in the show notes on my blog, nicolescreativeadventures.blogspot.com. And this furry thing that I'm petting right now is my Bubba. This is Jack Black. You heard your name? You want to look over here? He doesn't realize he's camera shy. He's very camera shy. That was my mouse, Jack. This is awesome. I'm kind of thinking in my head, I should probably delete this part, but no, this is the reality. Let's see if Mommy can get through her whole entire podcast without having to click her mouse. The one that was not working, that might completely be dead now. Let's see how that goes. Hey, I just want to show your face. Okay, he's purring, so he's happy. Okay, so I'm back because just after that, Jack decided to put his foot on the space bar on my keyboard and stop my recording. So the keyboard is way further out of reach from Jack. Are you protesting these podcasts? Throwing my mouse off the desk? Pushing pause on the video? Just saying. It's a little sneaky. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to skip podcast appreciation because apparently I did not fill in those notes in the show notes. And the truth is I could go on and on about that. So next week, there'll be more podcast appreciations than normal. I went to Stitches West, or as a lot of people call it, Stitches. I was like, isn't there there's a Stitches East, so I'm assuming that the Stitches East, Stitches West, Stitches whatever, are all the same, but this was my first Stitches experience. And I ended up going with one of my local yarn shops, Knit This Purl That, which is found in Pleasanton, California. And we took they rented a minibus, not a yellow minibus, but a minibus, not like a huge tour bus, but one of those really nice, comfortable buses. I think there were probably 30 of us, and we started out with a champagne breakfast at the shop where you kind of got to know each other a little bit and talk about knitting, and then a little bit about what to expect if you're new. There were I'd say probably more than half of us had never been to Stitches before. And then we took our bus ride, which didn't take long. Sorry about my noises. Silence. Because San Jose, or basically Santa Clara, where Stitches was this time, is probably about a 45-minute drive max on a weekend, But it was nice to be able to knit, chat with women that are knitters, and I think there was only one other person besides myself that was spinning. So we talked about what we're looking for on the way there, and I said I'm actually looking forward to buying some fiber. I don't, plan. I only want to get maybe one purchase of fiber, and I wasn't too sure what I wanted, and so only one other girl was actually a spinner. The rest were just pure knitters or crocheters. and that's the American version of that. Um, it's raining right now, and so all the animals are in the home right now. My cats are indoor cats, so they're always in. And you've seen Boxy in the past, which is shocking because most of the people, my family members, have never visually seen Boxy, but we caught her on camera on one of the podcasts. And then Marco is in the front room chewing on some sort of yak goat cheese that is hardened, and it's so if you randomly hear cracking noises, that's what he's working on. But so if there's chaos with animals, it's because it's not a beautiful day and Marco's in the house. Anyways, so we get to Stitches, and we didn't have a whole lot of shopping time. You know, when you do this whole thing where because they also provide, we went to lunch at this place called David's, and which is like on the golf course, and so we were kind of restricted by the schedule, so we only had about 1, 2, 3. I'd say about 2.5, 3 hours max to be at Stitches shopping around. So I kind of hooked up with one of the girls, the lady that she's older than me, but she's a girl. She was sitting next to me, and we kind of had a similar philosophy. It was also her first time, and so we said, why don't we just kind of like browse really quickly through everything, and as we see something that we might want to come back to, because we didn't want to like spend too much time right up at the front booths and then never make it to what was in the back. And I knew there were some booths that I wanted to go to by looking at my map that were further in the back area. So so we did that. When we saw something we liked and we thought we might want to come back, we took pictures and we circled it on the map. And we kept browsing, we went all the way back, and then we started to go back to all the ones we wanted to. And I think that was a good philosophy. I was a little overwhelmed by so part of my goals were, my shopping list, if I was going to share it with you, if I saw some sock blockers in small and medium that I wanted, I would get those. I didn't want wood. Really what I wanted is the same ones I have already, which was by Bryson, or they start with a B. Bad. But something similar to that, because I only had small and large, and I wanted another small because I love drying my socks on those. And I usually knit small for me. I have small feet. But I also wanted a medium because if I start knitting for family members and stuff like that, they're not all going to have just small and large. So, nonetheless, I ended up not buying any sock blockers because I didn't see any I liked. I only saw the wood ones, and I didn't really want to. Wood warps with water, and no matter how well you try to, I mean, unless it's pressure treated, which is the stuff they're not using because it doesn't look pretty, they'll end up not looking pretty over time. They're not the best to block wet socks with. Anyways, the other things that were on my wish list was 2 skeins of sock yarn, 2 future socks pairs, and what do you see? Oh, there's a man and a dog in front of our house right now. What are you gonna do? Oh, you can't see him, but he's being hilarious right now. He was just laying and then he's like, what's that? Huh? What's that? Yeah. And then I also wanted a sweater's worth of yarn for the vitamin D sweater. And then I wanted, what did I want? Oh, I wanted some fiber. And then I gave myself a little like budget just to maybe get some more yarn if I saw something, and you know, nothing major. So I had a budget, and I did really good. And I'll show what I purchased. I was under budget, mostly because I didn't purchase the sock blockers, but also because I didn't go crazy. I felt like I didn't want to buy stuff just because. But what I think I was trying to say earlier, and I spiderwebbed, was part of the other goals were I wanted to try at least 2 new yarn dyers or vendors that I've never purchased from before. So not to necessarily go to my favorite places, but to try to buy 2 skeins or maybe even my sweater's worth from a place that I've never purchased yarn from before. So that was a goal, and I did achieve that. So, anyways, so Stitches West was great. I'll throw a few photos. I'll show. Okay, sorry. I'll throw a few photos in here. Okay, right about now. Okay, let's pretend that I never said any of that stuff because that was really embarrassing. But let's move on to a cowl. There's a cowl happening in my Nicole's Creative Adventures group in Ravelry. It is today is Friday, March 4th. 4th. I'm really having a hard time today. Is it because it's Friday? Yeah, possibly. And so the cowl goes to the 8th till the 8th, midnight on the 8th. So I'm telling you right now, this is the cowl. But there's 2 people that have finished it already, and it's super well. Okay, let's just be honest. This is my first cowl, and I'm a new podcaster, and I haven't done a cowl before, so there's not a lot of people in my group. There's a handful, quite a bit actually, but this cowl was very specific. It was to knit a specific cowl. And so I wasn't expecting everybody and their mother to want to knit the same cowl that I wanted to knit. I love this cowl. This is the second time I've knit it. But 2 people did join it, and they finished before me. One finished in 1 day. That's crazy. So she's awesome just for that. And then another one's my friend Carrie, and she finished hers and a sweater at the same time. Like I'm feeling like so I finished mine 2 days ago. I haven't posted it. I'm being lazy. I blocked it to finish. Literally, I finished it actually 3 days ago, and then blocked it. And so I've been wearing it for 2 days. And Jack likes it. He likes it when I do this around his head. Okay, you can't stay in it. Sorry. He likes hand knits. He also likes my quilts. But if you have a cat, you guys probably all know that your cats like to get into your boxes from your packages, lay on every single like bundles of yarn, lay on your hand knits, lay on your fabric, on your quilts, whether they're done or not. They just have to have them, let me just share my love on it, Mom, and then you can give it to someone else. But anyways, moving on. So if you wanted to knit this awesome cowl, which I'll talk about a little bit more, it doesn't take long. Someone's knit it in a day, and actually, if I think about it, I could probably knit it in a full day if I had the day off, easy, because it's a quick knit. I only spent only spent 3 days on it, but I didn't knit all day. So yeah, and I'm not sure how Carrie felt about it, but she said it was quick too. So I enjoy it. So that's the cowl. It's going on in it's the cowl of a cowl going on in my Ravelry group, and that is the Adama cowl by Hilary Smith Callis. All right, I have my show notes so far away because of this little guy here in on the table here. Okay, works in progress. So I have 2 works in progress. One is these changeling socks in my owl bag that I made. Oh gosh. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's because it's raining outside. There's just no good lighting right now. So I have a daylight on me. What are you doing? Don't put your head in the bag. So I finished one. I did most of it while I was on the bus for Stitches West. So one sock. This is the Changeling colorway by Lammy Toes Moon Pie Merino. Oh, that's the base in Changeling colorway, and I was doing it on 1.5 DPNs for the ribbing, and then I moved to no, that's not true. Is it true? Yeah. 1.5 inch DPNs, not inch, sorry, that's my quilter coming out. 1.5, US 1.5 for the ribbing. One, I'm liking it. What's funny is, and I'm going to redo this toe, I I thought I had memorized the Kitchener stitch, but in the prep, and I had mixed up the purl and knitting sequence, and so I had swapped them. Well, if you ever had wondered what happens when you swap them, so instead of, instead of what you normally do when you swap, when you know what I mean, the knitting and the purl sequence, instead of it being very, let me get close here, where it kind of you could see the bumps. Come on. There we go. See the toe? Looks horrible. So basically, there's a ridge there, and the ridge is normally on the inside of the toe, on the inside of the sock. I mean, if you were to look at your socks, the ridge actually happens inside. And so if I was to flip this toe out, there's no ridge. Or no, you know, it's not a huge ridge, but it's like you could see it. Well, because I swapped the knitting and the purl sequence, now I have this stupid, weird pointy toe. So I'm going to tear that out and then just re-Kitchener. But that's not until I'm done with the second one. The second one, I just finished turning the heel, and I decided, because I'm being weird, I had heard a couple of people say they've been knitting on these really small 9-inch circulars, and this one is when I'm using a Hiya US 1 2.25 millimeter circular needle. And it's tiny. Okay, I've only done 3 rounds on this because once I got to the point where I turned the heel and I'm back to my normal stitching, instead of going back onto double pointed, and I know, and you're probably thinking, why would you do that when you were double pointed? Like when you knit this all double pointed, why would you change your needles mid sock? Good question. Because I wanted to try these out. I wanted to know if I wanted to return them. And the other reason is because I'm that impatient. So, sorry, my husband just tried calling me, but sorry, baby. I have, oh, by the way, I have this cute little arrow. Oh, I can't really see. There it is. Oh, people use their hands. It's an arrow, basically. Stitch marker. And I love it. It's so lightweight. Can't even tell it's there. And I believe that I was given this during the Valentine swap. No, it was the thank you Valentine. Forgetting her name right now in her podcast, but I will put it in here. Which was really sweet because I didn't expect anything in return. But she sent me this and some tea, so I appreciated it. But it was really sweet, and a thank you card that was really sweet. That's up on my with my fabric display. So, anyways, let's say row 1 was real weird. Like I think I knit differently than these are made for, but I'm gonna give it a go because from everyone I've been hearing that trying to knit on these, because literally, like that's how small the needle part is before it hits the wire. So it's like you're just like dee 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 dee. So I'm giving it a go. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's actually a stash. I guess that's a stash advancement because I ordered those on Amazon. They came like in 2 days. But anyways, I love this yarn, and I'm gonna have quite a bit of yarn left. So my husband was eyeing it. He's like, that would make a really good beanie. I'm like, okay. I don't know if I have enough for a beanie, but maybe I can add it with another yarn. Maybe the ribbing's in one color, and then. So, anyways, I think I could easily get another pair of socks out of what I'm knitting, especially this size. So I could do another pair for me, but Anyways, I like it. So one sock done, heel turned, getting close on that baby. And I only try to have one pair of socks going at one time. The other thing I'm working on is my first sweater. I've been working on it forever. And so here's the other thing. I did it again, people. Again. I don't know what it is. I think part of it is because I'm not super excited about the sweater. I'm excited about being done with it, but I'm not like super excited about it. And it's because I didn't splurge on my yarn. And anyway, so I was up to so I started knitting the arm. And I think I had mentioned that in my last podcast that I had knit the ribbing. Anyway, made my I think I had it about this long. And I go, this is too big. Like this is like really big. And then I'm like, oh wait, they're 3/4 inch sleeves. No, it's still big. Well, duh, because I started knitting with the larger size needles instead of the smaller, and it specifically said using the smaller size needles, Nicole, with my name was there highlighted. Start to knit the sleeves. I don't know why I didn't get that memo. I don't know if I was watching something or I was just in La La Land, but I had to rip that all out. And that's why my ball like is re-skeined tightly. It's actually tightly re-skeined. That ball, when I first did it, was pretty, I think I was upset. That's not re-skeined. Recaked. Sorry. I don't want to teach anybody bad language. But anyways, I'm done with the ribbing, and now I'm about to go into the stockinette stitch. And this feels much better already. So, hello, McFly. That was a fun day. I think my husband came in when I realized what I had done, and he was like gonna ask me for like an opinion on his guitar playing, because he was playing down the hallway. And I was not a happy camper at that point. And so he's like, "Hey, babe," and I'm like, "What?" He's just like, "Okay." He left. He just took off. And then I went in there and I told him, "I'm sorry. I just found out I had been knitting probably at least 50 rows or whatever. I don't know how many rows it was. It was close. And I have to rip it out. And I don't like it. Just because I couldn't pay attention to directions that I had specifically highlighted, nonetheless. So, shame on me. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe I shouldn't be knitting sweaters, right? Because I have no problem with these or shawls. Socks, definitely no problem, except for the toe recently. Maybe the memory is not as good as it used to be. That's where it's going. Okay, let's continue. So those are my two current works in progress. Quilting, I have a finished object. But I literally, I think I finished this week as well. I come home from work and I'll just kind of go at it. And then one day I just knocked out all the quilting, and then it was just making the binding, and I bound it. So I'll show that off a little bit. I don't have a full picture at this moment, but I'm thinking by the time that I download this and edit the photos and all that kind of stuff, I'll probably post this tomorrow on Saturday. My hubby will hold it up for me and I can take a picture, or vice versa. It's a larger quilt, so it doesn't just lay easily for me to take a photo. But I'm kind of racking my brain on what I want to work on next regarding quilting. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to pick up another quilt top that I had finished and knit and quilt it instead of starting another, because I have a stack of quilt tops. Okay. 1, 2, 3, maybe 2 bigger ones and two smaller ones. So I think I might want to knock those out, because if I keep making quilt tops, I'll never get through all the quilting. So, and as soon as it's quilted and bound, it's a quilt that could be used. So, stay tuned. Next week you'll see what I'm working on regarding quilting. And spinning, I didn't really spend any time on spinning. Well, no, I did. That's a lie. I spent 20 minutes spinning one, I think on Monday, and I'm just trying to finish up that whole Knit Picks Wool of the Andes roving that I have that's in that Tide Pool colorway, which is like a greenish, like a tealy, oceany green. And then I want to try one of my new, I haven't even tried plying yet, but I don't want to ply something that you know what I mean? I kind of want to get to a point where I feel like because I heard plying is not as hard as the actual spinning of fibers. So I want to get my fiber at a good consistency and then have two spools of that and then ply that. So we'll see. All right, finished objects. Here's one, the Adama Cowl. This is by Hilary Smith Callis. This was one skein of Jinx Yarns merino worsted in the Goth Yarns colorway. This is Jinx Yarns. Boop-a-doo. I spent 25 bucks on this. This was all that was left. Like, and not even enough for a mini skein. This is going to be good, like, waste yarn. And if I remember last time, I had just about that much left. So that's good. I'm at the same consistency. I guess that's kind of rough. I mean, you're playing chicken at that point. But I don't know. I think I just went with it because I had knit it before. So this is my second time knitting this baby. I like the construction. You can block it a little differently, like here or there. But so you knit this. You start here. And this is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give all the details. But you start over here. And you knit this part. And this ends up being, you'll see here. Ooh, what's that? A hood? I guess you could wear this as a hat. No, just kidding. But this, it basically starts to lay forward. And so this sits nice and cuddly in the front so that it keeps your kind of front neck warm. And then I have really broad shoulders. And so this cowl does not fit me like it does on that really cute skinny girl in the picture. I'll throw it up here. But nonetheless, I'm okay. I don't know if I like having things like keeping my shoulders down. So I love it. I love this design. It's very warm. It's merino and it's worsted, so it's got a lot of warmth, but it's not hot. It breathes because I think it's because of the lace work. So I love it. And then this yarn, I probably should show this, is this really pretty plum color. I mean, it's coming off pretty true. I think it would be maybe a little lighter than you're seeing. Yeah, because when you see it, it's a little lighter. But see, there's red. There's red in it and black specks. And then dark purple specks. I love it. And so when I wear this, people go, I love that. And then the people that know I know, they're like, did you do that? I'm like, yeah, I did it. And now me and my aunt Diane, who I had made the first one, same skein of yarn. I love this yarn. I'm so glad that I bought 2 skeins of this yarn. Now my bangs are all messed up. How do we feel about that, Jack? Huh? How do we feel about that? How my bangs look? I don't care, Mom. They look horrible. They look horrible. Okay. What is that? Okay. I wore this to a Christmas event. It was also my aunt's 60th birthday party. And I've said this story probably like 5 times now, but for the newbies, she was like, oh, that's pretty. Let me try it on. Okay. And then she just didn't take it off. And then I realized she really likes that. I'm like, it's yours. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. And then my mom's like, oh, I love it too. And I'm like, stop. My Aunt Kathy said the same thing. And, oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. So I have a feeling I'll be knitting more Adama cowls, but for this one is for me because I bought this yarn for me. So I'm happy. That's my finished project. Worn it a lot lately. My iPad went to Night Night Land. I also, okay, so for those of you that have watched my past podcasts, I had this goal that if I finish this quilt that's behind me, then I can then I can sew more project bags. Well, I finished this quilt, which I'll talk about in a second. And so I sewed today. In fact, I sewed 3 more project bags. I had 2 I had pre-designed out before, and I'd kind of shown the fabric, and then I decided, well, why don't I just do another while I'm at it, and I'll kind of like sew them together. You know what I mean? Sew them together. Sew them at the same time. Do it in sequence. There we go. So the first one is, these are my medium style bags. And the first one is just a solid fabric, which was easy, but I just really wanted to accent this large print. And I wanted a purple bag, so this is the purple bag. And it has a matching zipper and handle, and then the inside is this cute like polka dotty fabric. This is purple. So my favorite color is purple, so I wanted to have a purple bag, but I also wanted that little pink in it. So there's that bag. And I'm using a stiffer interface with these 3. This bag is a medium interface, so it's a little foldable. I can just shove it in my bag or it's something else and not feel like it's going to have an issue. Where this one is, it doesn't really, it folds, but it doesn't like crumble. You know what I mean? So there's that one. The second one I did was one that I didn't plan out originally, but I just put the fabric together today. So they got this little bed of tulips and this pretty, like it's coming out white, but it's more of a very, very, very baby pink. In fact, well, this is pink, but this is like a baby pink with a gray zipper, and then this handle is the same fabric, and it has these, you can't tell, but they're glittery. They're actually gold color little X's or crosses. So I thought that was a good one to have because I don't really have I don't have a pink bag. I'm trying to kind of have a rainbow of bags because as us knitters know, or crocheters, when it comes to project bags, we want our yarn to match our project. We're like matchy, okay? So that's one. And then the last one is I wanted a red bag or something with red in it, and I just love this fabric. Love it. So I did a solid bottom, solid red, bright red. This is like fire engine red. I love it. With a red zipper. Seems to match really awesome. And then in this fabric, see it has like some gold. I didn't iron this right. My cat was on it. These golds, well, that's the inside fabric. They're actually little chandelier looking things, but so anyways, I have 3 new project bags. And I got these done today. And I'm happy with them. Now, when you have new project bags and they're empty, you want to fill them with a project. Right, Jack? Right. I wish he would talk. He's so talkative normally. He's a Burmese. Like, I'll be in the bathroom getting ready. It's like, shut up, Jack. You know, talk. He'll try to talk over the hairdryer. Doesn't work, but he's just so quiet right now. Yeah. So I'm telling myself I'm not allowed. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not allowed to cast on any new projects. I could start a new quilting project. Okay. How do I turn that noise off? So people at work are updating Dropbox stuff. I'm afraid to hit mute on my computer because I don't want it to mute me. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. I'm not casting on any knitting projects and I don't crochet until I finish my sweater. So I only have 2 projects going then. It's my socks and my sweater. So as soon as I finish my sweater, or at least finish knitting my sweater, I could be blocking and then piecing. Oh, stop with the insanity. Then I can cast on some new projects. Till then, I have to be patient. And that's what I did with my quilt, and it worked. The moment I finished my quilt, boom, I had my bags. Okay, my quilt. I'm hoping to have a large scale picture of it, but this is my Dreamcatcher quilt by Sherry McConnell. The fabric is by Art Gallery Fabric. The line is Tulle, and the designer is Leah Duncan, and I love Leah Duncan's work. Probably sitting on this baby. But I finished, so for me, I've pieced, or I cut, I pieced. I basted and I quilted myself on my Bernina, the quilt, and I bound it, and we're good to go. So let's see. It's 66 by 66 inches. I don't know if my arms are even long enough. Yes, they are. Barely. This is awesome. I hope you guys are laughing at me. At least Jack is. And there's another email. So the back I decided to do was solid. And, you know, I'm too far away for you to see the quilting, but if you get closer, you can start to see the quilting. And so it accents that. I mean, people would say, why would you do a solid for backing? If you wanted them to see the quilting. The quilting's not extravagant. I went with easier than the harder because this is a difficult, well, not difficult. This is a big quilt. And I didn't have a purpose for this quilt. I really don't. Oh, camera. I don't know who I'm giving it to or what I'm going to do with it. Partly I thought it was for me, but I'm always open for God to say, hey, I want you to give that quilt to somebody or whatever. So sometimes when I don't have an actual purpose behind it, I just go with an easy, good looking quilting motif that'll be well rounded and what fits it. But I don't go extravagant. Oh, bye bye. I got my purple jeans on too. Okay, so quilt is done, and I hope to have a better picture because the lighting was bad, and I'm sorry about that. And the lighting is still bad. Come on. Hey, didn't move, did I? Sorry. Makes me want to fix the lighting. Let me fix the lighting. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The lighting is somewhat better. All right, stash advancement. So, I'll just show off fabric first. I got my next monthly subscription in the Pink Castle Fabric Art Gallery Fat Quarter Club. And this month it's Avant-Garde collection by Caterina Roccella or Rosella. Either way, it sounds very Italian to me, but I'm not going to show you all the fabric I did last time, but bright, lots of brights, and then some blues and some big prints, geometric designs. I do like this design, and it comes in a handful of colors. This one's a nice, just basic. This one's got little butterflies on it. More geo. I'm not crazy about this line. This isn't quite my style, but I do like that. Like, that is really pretty. And this rainbow one, it's very Stephen West. This wouldn't be as crazy as like K Facet fabric. Hi, did you hear that? I'm not talking to you, Bubba. What? What's wrong? There's another one. Pretty cool. Just they're cool. Unique. I would definitely probably prefer these for quilts instead of maybe for like project bags. But I'm not too sure what I'll do with this. Ugh, the lighting stinks. Maybe you need to be back here, Bubba, so that the lighting knows that it has to be good. Okay. That's only the fabric I got. I'm trying. Here's the deal. You become a new like spinner, and you also like are addicting yarn like crazy. You're careful about where you're putting your money. I have so much fabric that I don't need more fabric, but I'm only in one club, and so the only fabric I really get is that, unless I'm working on a quilt and I'm just like, I just need a little bit more fabric for this, or maybe I need a backing fabric, or binding. Okay. So on the way there and back to Stitches West, we had some games going on in the bus. And I won a couple little things of yarn. All of us won something. There was not that many of us that they had so many prizes that we all won, at least one, and possibly two. So the first thing I won was this Be Sweet Skinny Wool, it's a one-ply delicate merino wool strand. Lay down, please. Baby pink is the color. 25 grams, 180 yards. 75%. Oh, it's just merino wool. Sorry. So anyways, it's this baby pink. It's very sweet and soft. I could see myself adding this to something else when I knit. Not sure what, but there we go. Possibly for a baby girl. The other thing I won, which I was even more excited about, was a full skein of Malabrigo. That was the mouse again, which was working. You're in trouble. He knows he's in trouble too. It's like, he never does this. He never knocks my mouse off. Oh, the batteries are all over the floor. You're in trouble. Normally you would get a little swat to the bottom, but we're on TV and you can't do that, Mommy. And the swat to the bottom wouldn't be too bad. It would be more of a shock and awe and get him off the desk. Anyways, this is Malabrigo Machida. Machida. 420 yards. The colorway is Diana. 100% superwash merino, made in Peru. So what's so funny is my mother-in-law's name's Diana, and I know she does not watch my podcast, or at least I think she doesn't. So I told my husband, I said, when I got it on the bus, I saw it and I was like, oh, the colorway is called Diana. Does that mean I have to knit this for my mother-in-law because her name's Diana? Everybody laughed. But I actually can see me knitting like a shawlette or something for her out of this because she's very outdoorsy. She's like a crazy kayak lady. She's kayaked like all over the world and things like that. So that reminds me, I got a text from her about trying out a kayak that I haven't replied to in a few days. I need to get back to her. But anyways, skein of yarn, freebie. In my Stitches West experience, the first skein of yarn I had purchased was from a new yarn dyer that I have never experienced, which was called Forbidden Woolery. And they have this really cool, this was one of their things I took with them. Forbidden Woolery. And they were at booth 117. Okay. That's another way for you to grab something if you want to go back to that booth, is just, that reminds you. But anyways, they had so much yarn, and I feel like I kind of didn't give it a go as much as I should have. Probably would have bought more than just this from them, but I didn't. But, you know, I'm a sucker for Stellina, and they had tons of colorways. And the girl that I was with, the lady I was with, she had never knit with anything with Stellina. In fact, never seen yarn with Stellina. In fact, I gave my the yarn shop owner a little bit of a hard time about, you need to carry Stellina. You know, so it was already on her list to do, and she was actually bringing in some new yarn vendors and things like that. But nonetheless, I purchased this skinny yarn. It's the Pride base. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. 435 yards, 100 grams. And the color is leather waistcoat. And now there were tons of colors. And I was gravitating towards all the purples. And I had told the girl that I was with, do not let me buy more than one skein of purple or one project worth of purple because I have too much purple. But this is really pretty, and it's picking up nicely. The stellina. The stellina is a little more obvious in this than maybe that you would see maybe in a Wool and Vine Yarns or. But it's super squishy, like super squishy. And I actually enabled that lady that was with me. She bought 3 skeins, 3 different colors of this. I don't think she's gonna knit socks out of them, but there was a pattern that was there that this was knitted up in, and they had maybe 20 different colorways of this. And she loved the pattern, and so she was going to go buy that on Ravelry and probably knit up at least a couple of them, and then who knows what she was going to do with the other one. But so I like that one. Then she bought some yarn somewhere else, and then I saw this sock yarn and I had to get it. This is the Flying Kettle Dye Works, which is another brand that I've never used before. Flying Kettle Dye Works. And this is their Slot Glider base, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards. And this is La Mia Vigina colorway, and it has purple. So this was my purple skein. I like it. It's got dark purples, it's got lavenders, it's got these speckles of orange and hot pink. And I would say this is more of a ecru color. And there's some blue specks in there as well. So I thought these would be fun socks. Like, I'm not sure if I'll knit socks out of these. I probably won't. This will probably be a shawlette or a shawl if I mix it with some other yarn or use another yarn with it. These will be socks. These are perfect soft, and they're super soft. I almost bought another skein in this company, but I didn't. You know, when you only have so much time there and you're afraid you're not going to see everything. I didn't. Then I got my fiber. So I was looking around, and I actually was not very impressed with the fiber I'd seen. There was a couple companies that I love, but I just thought none of the color the colorways were calling out at me, or they were already what I kind of had, and I was trying to branch out. I didn't need more like the Tide Pole version I have, where that brown red, that rust red, was way more brown than rust. Like the amethyst purple color, like the dark purple. I wanted something different, and I just couldn't find it, and I almost found myself kind of settling, and I thought, don't do that, because I can buy this same things online. So that's another thing, is I wanted to find something that I hadn't tried before and that I didn't know what I'd be getting. So I went a little interesting. I had said I'd either want to buy stuff I can spin now or buy something that I want to work up to spinning. Well, I went that way, because once I touch this, who knows how it's going to spin. I know that some people love it and some people hate it. So we'll see. I'm not ready to spin this, but it is a goal. So this is 50% silk, 50% baby camel. I'm sorry for the noise. And it's by Redfish Dye Works. It's 4 ounces. But it is just like the softest, and I don't know if you can see the sheen. But anyways, it's like, Even Jack is like rubbing his face on it. Yeah. He's like, that's cool, Mom. It's so soft. So, and it's just this like deep burgundy with bright red tones and then that white running through it, or cream running through it. It's pretty. It's a little extravagant, but hey, why not? And then the last thing I bought was my sweater's worth of yarn. And I did buy this from a dyer that I love. I've knit one shawl out of the yarn. I have another skein. Now I really love their DK silk merino base, but they didn't have any there. She's like, you're so funny. People who love it, and they buy it online. But when we have it at our booths at actual like conventions or fiber festivals, it doesn't sell. I'm like, well, they're dumb because it should sell. But anyways, this is Western Sky Knits. And this is going to be for the vitamin D sweater. I'll throw a picture up right here. And this colorway is Cherry Blossom. This is their Magnolia sock base. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it's 4 ounces, 378 yards. So I got 4 skeins of it, which I think is going to be probably a little on the close side because normally on a fingering weight you're around 400 yards, but we were looking for a heavy fingering light sport. That's what this is perfectly. I think I'll be okay because I'm probably not going to have full sleeves and I'm going to do shorter sleeves or whatever, but we'll see. It could just be shorter. I'm short. Doesn't need to be long. All right. Well, what I love about this color is it's got these like pink pinks, but then these browns and this is pretty true color. It's just so pretty, but then there's pink. So I wanted to get a color, like that would be interesting. And this vitamin D sweater is very lightweight. It's perfect for spring or like going into summer. I think I could wear it if I just knit it. But I think a variegated, or I guess this isn't a variegated, but it's kind of like a variegated. I think that would look pretty with it. And I think I had that whole conversation before. There's a picture of me holding them too, because I wanted to see like how did the color look upon me. But I think it'll look pretty. And then the only other thing is I didn't buy this at Stitches West, but my space, I'm pretty sure everybody that has, yeah, you have to have arrived. But this is the February month mini skein club by Space Cadets. And last month was all purples, my color. And now the color is going from the purple family and working its way into the pinks. And into the pink oranges, and then into the oranges, which is really cool. I really like this variegated one here with the pink and the oranges. It's very pretty. So I love this. I think probably in about 6 months, I'll have enough to really start figuring out what I want to do regarding my sock blanket. But that's all she wrote for stash advancement. Jackie's getting feisty down here. Why don't you go pick up my mouse and batteries and stuff? Put that back together. You want to be useful? Nope. That was the no look. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna the Adama Cal ends in about 4 days, and so I'll be kind of putting my brain together on what I want to do. I think I might do a knit along that allows everybody to kind of chime in, not so restrictive to the actual pattern or the yarn. And then I need to think about a possible quilt along and how that would look. So I need to put my brain. If you have any suggestions, please message me on Ravelry or message it, put a comment on the show notes in the group or on my blog or even on this YouTube page. I'd love to get some suggestions. I'm pretty busy, but work's pretty busy. But I want to accommodate both sides. My knitters and my quilters, or the ones that are knitters that want to do more quilting, or vice versa. So let me know. Like my cow. All right. Until I see you guys next time, take care. All right. I can't even pause. How do I pause? You took my mouse away. He's throwing his tail down. Let's do what you did and do the space bar. All right. Adios.